Hey Wastelanders, this is Gary from The Last Ranger. I'm back to do a review of this knife. This is the Ventus. And I think I covered it in a few videos, but it's a slip joint. I did a disassembly of this. You should have saw. I don't think I filmed the disassembly because it was sort of frustrating. I tried to turn the non-presentation pivot onto the presentation side because I didn't like the screw. I thought that the screw would be better if it was on the non-presentation side. That didn't work out because it was impossible to take it apart. It didn't allow me to hold it together and reverse it because this D-pivot shape is on this side and on that side. If that was on this side, that would be easier to assemble it, but so it didn't work out. So I gave it up, and I had to actually buy a soldering iron and to get these screws back together, or get them apart to put it back together. So I was able to get the pivot and the knife blade out without removing these two screws, or these 4 screws. But getting back together was impossible. So if you've ever disassembled a slip joint, you know what I mean. It's, unless you have all the right tools and a vise, which I don't, it's near impossible. Anyway, I've been using this knife a lot. I don't know if you can see it. This is a hard use knife, slip joint, because there's a lot of, I don't know what it's, scratches or rubs, because this is titanium. I tried to clean it up, but unless I use polish, I can't get these off. You could see the snail trails on this side. You can see some nicks. But that doesn't matter to me because I use it. This is a user. I like this knife. It's a modern slip joint, and if you didn't know, this screw, if you turn it this way or that way, it works on the, what do you call it? What was it called in traditional knives? The pull. So you can adjust the pull down to like basically a 1 or a 0 maybe, all the way up to like a near impossible pull, like a 9 or 10. I currently got it at a, I think I got it at a 6. Let me check that. Yeah, it's more like a 6. I had it at a 9 or 8, and I kind of didn't like it, so I adjusted down to 7. What I felt like is a 7, and it's still like annoying, so I got it down to a 6. So you can see there's a movement, but it's not a lot of movement. I use it all the time. This is the N690 steel, and I don't know much about N690, but I know Real Steel likes to use it, and it holds the sharpness for me. It's pretty good at holding the sharpness. Let me cut a few things to show you, because I've used it a lot and it's still sharp. All right, I have an envelope here. I don't know if that's a good test, so let's see if it cuts an envelope. Yeah, I guess it's a good test. So like I said, I've been cutting a lot on this. I use it, you're familiar with a tubey grip. If you're not, it's basically what I put on my leg to cover the bandages on my foot. So it's kind of thick, but I always don't have scissors around me, so I have this sitting on my table, nightstand, and I take it like this, and I use it to cut through the tubey grip. Yeah, it's kind of hard because it's not a big blade, it's not a long blade, so sometimes it gets hung up on the cutting choil, or the sharpening choil, sorry. Anyway, it cuts through this really nice. And now it's got all my shit all over the mat. Let me see if it cuts. Oh, yeah, doesn't cut through the plastic window. Gets hung up on it like the glue and stuff. But anyway, it's still sharp. So I don't know if anybody of you guys follow Poltergeist Works. He does a lot of designs for real steel. I wish he'd do some designs for other companies, because he's got a lot of designs on his website that I don't think even Real Steel has ever produced. So I know he's got some Spyderco designs. I don't think they produce it anyway, or either. They own it, but they never made it, as far as I know. So I like his design aesthetics. This is one of the best slip joints I've ever, one of the best modern slip joints I've ever seen. But I'm totally biased because I really love his design. I know I'm getting behind on his designs. There's maybe a handful of knives I don't own, but I used to own every one of them. So yeah, I like this knife. I don't remember. It's kind of pricey, but I kind of remember I got $30 or $40, maybe $25 or $30 off if I pre-ordered it with a coupon. But I just wanted to do a follow-up on this. I really like this knife. I carry it probably every day. Granted, I carried it a lot at home because I'm 100% bed rest, but I still carry this knife around. But when I go to the wound clinic or like the doctor's office, I will often carry this knife. I really like this knife. This is it's a very cool design. I don't know if you think so, but to me it's a really cool design. If I hadn't been using it, I don't think I would have scarred it up this much. I'm not gonna say I have a problem with using my knives or scarring my knives up, because I sometimes do. I have some knives I don't want to scar up, and I didn't really want to scar up this one, but taking it apart, you can see I screwed up attaching the clip, and it was rocking back and forth, and I didn't know it. So I screwed up. I'm like, oh, it's screwed up now, so I won't care. I'll just use it and beat the shit out of it. So anyway, yeah, I hope you guys, someone dug this review. I didn't tell you a lot of information about it because this knife has been out, and I don't like to do details about blade length and all that shit anymore, because you guys can look it up if you buy it. I just like to show the knives off. I'm more of a personal collector guy that's got a little channel, and I'd like to show my knives off. So let me close it so you can hear the sound. Anyway, take care, Wastelanders.